Hi everybody, welcome. This is Needle Drop Nation, episode 9, and this one is beautifully entitled Fury, Fire, and the Future Unfolding. I love that one, Jodi, and I have to say, I'm Nick Wood. This is my beautiful co-host, Jodi Barias. Welcome, Jodi. Good to see you. It's going to be a cracking year, 1972. But I have to say, we've got a little treat for you today because we're just changing it slightly, but we'll cover that in a little while. From news point of view, Jodi, in the UK, what did we have? We had the tragedy, and it's still ongoing, inquiries into the Bloody Sunday massacre. So quite unbelievable that still legalities are still progressing even as we talk now. And then the greatest thing is that, of course, yes, we signed a treaty that was going to enable us to join the European Union. Well, it was a common market back in those days. There was only 7 countries. So we have lived through that full circle of joining because we needed it.
That's right.
To leaving because we were sick of it.
and that leaving was pretty recently too.
Yeah. But it took a while. It took a while. We had a vote, and then that confused every politician going because no one was going to believe that. No one, no government, no sane government calls a referendum expecting to lose it. So when that happens, all hell breaks loose. And if you're in the UK, you know the complete irony of the reason they called that referendum was to stop a guy called Nigel Farage and his UK Independence Party coming to power. Well, it's had the complete reverse effect because now everybody hates the 2 main parties that are currently shared power. And so come the next election, as it stands, everything could change in a heartbeat, I know. But as it stands, Nigel Farage and his Reform Party, according to the polls, will sweep to victory. So yeah, trying to head him off of the hill seems to have kind of given him the keys to the door. But we don't know. It's politics. So it could change. Anyway, obviously politics in the US in 72 was swimmingly fine.
Well, yes. So, of course, Nixon was our president in 1972. One of his most popular things that we must say during his administration was opening the doors to China and improving relations. And then also another thing was that Nixon actually went to Russia to sign a treaty in regards to arms control. This is the first time that the United States actually did that. So there is some credit you need to give to dear Mr. Nixon. But then again, also in the same year, Nick, there was this investigation going on with our beloved president known as Watergate. And as we go along in the years of 73 and 74, the story will unfold. But also another thing from all the efforts that were made through news, through arts, through music, through protest, through government acknowledgement, the U.S. starting to bring back the troops home from the Vietnam War.
Yeah, that was a very, very good thing. Thank goodness for that. I have to say, from a UK point of view, I didn't we just associate your President Nixon with Watergate and all that. Not really. I didn't realise until I was just reading up on it for today, was that he had a landslide victory on his second term, wasn't it? So man, what a way to screw it up. So he was obviously popular.
He was. And it's funny because during the time of Nixon, like what you were saying in the UK, as far as with immigration goes, opening the doors, from 1968, the post-68 wave, even up to during the time of Nixon, immigration was allowing professionals, and particularly from South Asian, Southeast Asian territories, to fill in the labor need for professionals. And from what I know, also specifically for medical professionals. So there is this whole thing about opening the doors in the early 70s in the UK, in the United States, for immigrant labor. But then there are also certain things that we still deal with today with immigration, as well, you can see.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, it's funny. Both both nations had the same problems and how you had the same solutions with with requesting people to come in and help out. So
It's,
yeah, interesting stuff. Ah,
mhm.
ta,
Let's
enough,
let's get to
enough
the
politics.
meat and
Let's get
bones of
to
this
meat and
show.
bones. Today,
Yes.
guys, you've got a special treat. Who is on every single show I think we've ever done. We're going to kick you off with him as well, because this is a genius album. One of our favourites is Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars with David Bowie. Oh my goodness, what an incredible album. Do you know what, Jodi? I re-listened to it last night just so it was completely fresh in my memory. And yeah, it's a couple of things, isn't it? It's how someone, Bowie was a genius, but he created a persona, and people, effectively he did it so well that he became this Ziggy Stardust. So it was a kind of like a performance. So he was a performer of a certain artist. And so it had, it's like a story, the album. So he starts off with 5 years. So he's setting the scene, and you've got Starman, which is all about hope, and then the very last one. And I have to say, one of my all-time favourite Bowie songs is Rock and Roll Suicide. I used to
Yes.
tell you, Jodi,
Beautiful song.
little VHS. I had a great one when I was in my teens, and it was him doing a live version of it. Bowie retired so many times, but it was one of his final tours, and it's probably one of his final tours as Ziggy, and he played that, and it was just, I don't know, it stuck with me for the rest of my life. It was just such a beautiful, haunting song, but he had all the punchy hooks. It was like full of really catchy melodies.
Blues. It had a lot of blues in it. Yeah.
A great deal of blues, and absolutely brilliant. And of course, the tunes are just super iconic.
Oh yeah.
It's an incredible piece of work. And of course, he was dressed up. He was flamboyant. He could do the 70s Starman type thing. It was just something that I don't think could never be repeated. Could it? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think that one of the things that a lot of celebrities, people like Lady Gaga, Madonna, look up to him is because he's a chameleon, and he's a chameleon that tells a story. He's a performance artist. He's a storyteller, and on stage he takes you on a journey with his musicians, and that's what's magical about Ziggy, David Bowie, the legend. Starman, the song, is such a great song in my heart. And it tells about the whole notion of transformation of a person, and when he sings it on stage, he really makes you feel the live rock and roll of it. And I saw footage of that when he did it in Top of the Pops with his band. You could compare a recording on the studio where it's very magical, but when he does it live with his musicians, it's like, let's get together and let's do this right. And that, to me, speaks about Bowie as the live performer, and with his costume, with his makeup, and just even with his enigmatic presence and his stare.
Yeah, didn't he just have some of that? Yeah.
And his two different colored eyes as Ziggy. Remember, he's got two different.
Yeah, of course.
Irish.
Yeah, he did,
Yes.
didn't he? He did. And it was, he's like, so he became this ultimate performance, wasn't it? This Ziggy.
The extraterrestrial child.
Yeah. and talking about that though, Joe, do you think, we were talking about, it's a lot of blues in it. The second from last track, Suffragette City, is
love.
Rock and roll bluesy.
Hey man.
Don't lean on me, man. Yes,
Don't lean on me, man. It's funny because I could even hear his buddy Iggy Pop in there. Yep.
Suffragette City. Yeah, we're gonna sing it along.
Suffragette City. I know this is a great album. Oh, by far. And Nick, you have the beautiful honors of really talking about this with me. It's just, this is what this podcast celebrates. It's incredible, spirit lifting music that resonates throughout the years. And like I said, Bowie as a performer, as a chameleon, has inspired a lot of pop artists down the road. Um, even Duran Duran. We're not just talking about
Yes.
female artists as well. Um, and collaborated with major artists as we've talked about in the past. So, yeah, we salute David Bowie.
Yes, it's a
Ziggy
homage to
Stardust.
David Bowie. But yeah, I have to say, if you listen, guys, if you haven't got the record, the album itself, then just go onto YouTube and that's what I did last night. I I used to have all these beautiful vinyl albums, and then when DVDs, CDs came along, I threw them all away. And I must have it somewhere on an iPod, but I don't know where my iPod's gone. It's kind of vanished. So I thought, what's the quickest way to look at it? And I thought, I know, I just went onto YouTube and there it was. And just played it all the way through. So yeah, if you want to just step back in time, listen to some incredibly cool music. I mean, it's one of those. I remember. I don't know when it was. Probably it was late to mid '90s. When I remember when Oasis released "What's the Story, Morning Glory," their album.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that the DJ on the radio was saying, "Oh, they just delivered it to me." And normally you say, "Okay, what are the best tracks to play?" And it came back with anyone. Just pick one of them, and it'll be brilliant. And that is exactly how I feel about this album. Any track on it,
Mm-hmm.
you can just listen to, and it's like, yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's good, yeah. And being able to sing it from front to back, each lyric is something that's amazing. When I was in high school, my friends and I were able to capture that. And when we start with one line, the second person will sing the second line, and it's just like I said, this is it's a magical album. Magic.
That's it. It's a girly thing to do with that. And I say it was probably my most played album
Mhm.
until I discovered Bruce Springsteen. But that's another story for later on.
Not too far
I just
ahead.
thought-
We're talking.
I just thought I'd drop that legend in there just to tease it. But yeah, no,
Yes.
it was a fantastic, absolutely fantastic album. So, guys, let us know. We'd love to know, what is your favourite track. We know we know you love it because we know who listens. So yeah, just drop us a line to tell us what your favourite track was on Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, and indeed any David Bowie track that you want us to feature. Is in every week. It's going to become a personal. It might be like we could do it like a what's it called? We could have it like word bingo.
Mhm.
So
A
there
word
are-
bingo. Yes,
Yeah,
we could do it
there
as
are-
a
there are
David Bowie
certain
trivia.
people there are certain people that we mention every single week, and he is definitely one. One of the other ones we're probably going to mention most weeks for the foreseeable future is from another brilliant album from Stevie Wonder. Talking Book, Jodi. Can you
Mhm.
fill us in on that one?
So this is a great pinnacle time for Stevie. He's a Motown artist, also, managers, Barry Gordy, used to the happy-go-lucky Stevie when he sings, the Motown hits in the 60s. Now we're also seeing a transformation with Stevie on this album and the next albums to come, which won him more awards. So Talking Book is an album where he had more reins to his creativity and actually he earned Grammys for this album and Best R&B Single for Superstition. And of course, one of my mom's favorite songs of all time, You Are the Sunshine of My Life. So, yes, this.
Yeah, and they're two totally different songs, aren't they? I love them. I mean, Superstition. For me, the bass line is just absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it's
And then you
great.
got that lovely "You Are the Sunshine," which is so melodic. So you got that real punchy, great Superstition one, and two totally different songs, but lovely. I mean, and again, we are so blessed to actually have grown through some of these artists without any question.
Yeah.
And and of course, remembering he was blind.
Yes, he was blind. He's blind. But the great thing about Stevie is that when it came to the organ, when it came to the harmonica, to the music that he played, listening to the notes, he proved to the world that this man is also a genius. He also did a lot of experimentation with the organ, with the clavinet. Even he inspired other artists to come join. Jeff Beck was also in he was also involved in this album too as well, along with other artists. And must I say, even though the album was released in 1972, it was at one of the end of the year top of the charts albums, at number 3 in the late half or the back half of 1973. Wow. So that goes to show you that here's Stevie with such immense creative independence that he's given, even being under the label of Motown, but less from the jurisdiction of Berry Gordy. And the journey from here on end on his career just skyrockets. Nick, I'm excited to talk about the next albums from here on, covering our buddy Stevie. The man, the legend, the musician. I'm just so grateful that we experience him, as a part of our lives, through music.
Yeah, and I love the fact that there are certain harmonica players. I won't mention them all because we're talking about Stevie. I don't know if you've ever tried to play the harmonica, Jodi. I've tried several times, and I'm absolutely shockingly bad. I can't string a little tune out of it for love nor money. I've bought countless books. I've had countless over the years, little harmonicas to try and do, try to replicate some little harmonica tunes, but no, unbelievable. So yeah, I take my hat off to anyone that can play the harmonica, particularly someone who can play it as well. And there's another band in the 70s, 72, had a big album. They had a bit of harmonica on it, and it was a double album, and it was by the Stones. It was called Exile on Main Street. Sold an absolute ton, but for me, and I'm a big Stones fan, there was only one decent track on it, Tumbling Dice. So we're going to use our podcast owning privilege to ignore that one completely and go to an album I have bought more times than most people have had hot dinners. I think I've bought this album in some way, shape or form about 8 or 9 times. I first heard it from my brother, like a lot of these things, and it was 1973. It's not 1972, but I tell you what, when I tell you which one it is, you're gonna go, oh yeah. And it is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and where Ziggy Stardust was punchy and individual songs, this was a flow, and you kind of had to listen to it all the way through. It was an experience, and it kind of takes you through someone's life. I mean, Lloyd did this a few times. They did it with The Wall as well. It takes you through someone's life effectively, from you've got money, you've got time, you've got mental health with brain damage, and then you've got eclipse and mortality. And then what we discovered the other day, Jodi, was The Great Gig in the Sky, and I've
yes,
named somewhere, but never right in front of me. The lady that did all the wailing, Claire Torrey. So she was paid 20 or 30 pounds as a session singer. So that would be like £700 or £800 in today's money.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe $1,000, okay, to do the singing and the backing singing. And it wasn't until 2005, so what's that, 30 years later plus, she actually sued EMI and Pink Floyd for the writing credits. Mm-hmm. and she won, and so they paid her an undisclosed sum, so we don't know how much they paid her in back royalties, but I imagine she's pretty. I imagine she's pretty pleased because she got at least 8 royalties from me. So,
Well, I mean, of course, that's like one of the most notable things on that track too, as well. Whether you liked it or not, I mean, I thought it added to the track. So, I mean, I felt it was well deserved from her battle. You know.
yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was creating it without any shadow of a doubt. You know, there's no,
Yeah.
they didn't give her songs to sing. So, but you said something really. I'm trying to go around it nicely, but you said really in a beautiful way. You said yesterday we were chatting about the pre-production. You said you experience this album. You don't listen
Yes.
to it. You experience.
You
'Cause one
experience it.
track leads it to another.
Mhm.
There's no hard stops. There's no breaks. It's just a continuous journey, which is amazing.
Yep.
And of course, this was 1973. So think about the production on it. So you had tape loops and synth layers. And
Yes.
it was recorded in another claim to fame, my bragging into Abbey Road, recorded in Studio 2 of Abbey Road as well. So along the same as the Beatles did theirs. So yeah. So and apparently when I seem to recall the story of it was in Studio 2, and I think they had something like 60 different alarm clocks for time.
Wow.
And
Wow.
they were all set to go off at a certain time. That was how they created it. And you think, you know, it's such an amazing song, and it starts with all these alarm clocks going.
Alarm clocks.
And that's they did it all manually and in different types. And again, and other songs on there has got for a bass player. You got money,
Yep.
and that riff goes all the way through the song. And so once you've nailed that, it's like, come on.
No, it's
a great one to play, and it is just it's difficult just to keep that rhythm all the way through. As I'll tell you that for nothing, because because there's other things going on. So really,
your fingers are going to hurt doing the same rhythm throughout the song.
Yeah, your fingers get sore, but it is just you have to keep that exact rhythm. The temptation to move away from it is quite strong, but having played it, it's just a lovely one to play. Really, so super cool. And hats off to my niece Grace, who's a professional bassist over in Australia. She finessed my playing of that. We had a couple of good sessions. Loved it. That was great. What else can we say about this amazing thing? So I bought it. I bought it several times. But the final time was I actually bought a whole DVD set of how they made it and everything. So I had it all. It was like wonderful. And then my brother and his family came and visited me in Germany, and we sat there at the table. Myself, my brother, and my best man, Ren, actually, and we were just drinking and having a nice time. And I told my brother, he was like, "Oh wow!" And so, because I'd stolen the first album I had, I pretty much nicked it off my brother. So, in a fit of generosity, I said, "Chris, take it. I said, it's yours."
Aww.
If it wasn't for you, never have found it. So it's just
But just also, like going along on that experience, I feel that this album has always been a pinnacle for people in their lives, and what I mean by that is that I've had stories with colleagues, friends, coworkers where I said, "Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. That's the first time I lit my first joint. Oh my goodness, Dark Side of the Moon. Oh my God, that was the first time when I got drunk." And I'm like, understood, Dark Side of the Moon, first time I actually, got laid. I was like, whoa, and I could see that. I was like, so it's not only is it an experimental album, it's experimental in other ways. It inspires experiment. The experience. And again, when I don't like to categorize this album because it is a rock and roll classic album that is on my top 10 album list. But I will tell you, it is, along with like Yes in the early 70s, that progressive rock. taking rock
Yes, of
onto a
course.
level of not just guitars, drums, bass, but synthesizers,
Yeah,
organs, experimentation.
that's it. Yeah, lots of experimentation, and I think that was one of the things that Floyd did brilliantly. You're absolutely right. Yes, were brilliant components of that, and I think we got a yes. We got a yes on the playlist as well,
Yes, we
guys. So
do.
do
Yes,
do check out the playlist. Jodi puts them together, and she does a stellar job. And what you find is sometimes, if you look at the playlist today, and then you go back next week, you might see some changes. You might see
it's true because when you think about it as like a love,
it's a
focusing
love
on the
letter to
year,
our childhood. Yeah, so
it just get the list just gets better and better. To be quite honest, and the thing is, the intention of this list is to celebrate the music that Nick and I love that year. What were our influences? What did we love? What we found passionate and joyful and memorable? Um, through the eyes of Gen Xers.
yeah,
So, when you get a chance, when you go on to YouTube and you watch this podcast, go down, you'll see the link to the Spotify list. So, yes, enjoy, immerse, and really embody the experience. I was going to also say that you could also listen to this podcast, particularly through Amazon Music,
of
through
course.
Spotify, through iTunes. I mean, the audio
Yeah,
podcast.
we're everywhere. And of course, if you do listen to it and you do love it, leave us a lovely review as well. That would really help push it all out there as well. Very quick mention, Jodi, of the movies of the day. One of my favourite films of all time, The Godfather, the first one. I just think that the filmmaking, the cinematography of it all was just beautiful, as well as being a cracking story as well, and great acting. But yeah, I remember it, just for the most incredible scenery, particularly in the very beginning. Do you remember it's over in so yeah, so absolutely gorgeous. It's the funeral, but beautifully done. And there's a couple of other films there that we won't mention.
You'd be like, "What's New, Pussycat?" and Deep Throat. Well, yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah,
1972. But as going far as back to The Godfather, I think this was one of the first films in the 70s that had an outstanding cast. It put Scorsese on the mark, as a director. I felt that the cinematography emulated like amazing cinematography. Some of the scenes reminded me of even like the styles of Italian cinematographers when they go to the countryside of Italy. And again, we're talking about legends who are still on television, on
yeah. Some
screen
are still with us.
today. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely incredible. What else were we going to be talking about? We also mentioned when we were chatting the other day about Godspell as well,
Oh,
and we'll cover
yes.
this probably in more later episodes. But where, yeah, that start of where you're getting the three media of cinema or theatre
Mhm.
and so film and music all coming together and being multimedia combined. So
Hmm.
in the few episodes coming. Um, so yeah, we'll talk about that too. It's gonna be good. So
Oh,
do let us
yes.
know. Do let us know what you want to listen to. So we've touched on 73. I've got a feeling 73 is going to be a pretty good year. Um,
Yes.
so there's going to be more to come. So just by nicking the best album from it, I'm sure we've left a couple for next week, but it's good. But do let us know. Also, guys, yeah, do let us know. This is our podcast, and we love it, and it's our love letter to our childhood. But also, it's a love letter to your childhood as well. So do let us know what you'd like us to include as well, and anything you want to say. Maybe you wanted to change some format or anything like that. Then let us know. We might ignore it because we like doing what we're doing.
Oh, yes. Uh,
But yeah, do
happy,
feel free to chip in.
mhm. Yeah. Happy birthday dedications, as far as, songs that were popular this year. I mean, we're coming now into going into 1973, another amazing year. So, any birthday requests we
Mhm.
also acknowledge, and also feel free to comment. We are,
Yeah,
as time goes by, you notice that our format has been changing a bit, and we would like to hear your feedback about that.
yeah,
And again, we thank you all who have been following us these past 2 months, and the support, our
yeah,
engagement just makes it stronger and makes it better.
yeah.
So,
We appreciate it massively. Jody, as ever, it's always a pleasure podcasting with you. Always fun, and
likewise,
you
Nick,
increase
likewise,
my.
buddy,
You're the best, buddy.
you're the
Yeah, but
best.
you increase my knowledge of music, and I love it. So thank you for that. So, guys, until the next episode, stay tuned. This is episode 9. We're into we're into double figures next.
Oh my gosh, we're going to be on our 10th episode. This is going to be, we're going to make this
Moon.
special for everybody. We have
Yeah,
to make this special, extremely
yeah,
special.
we'll do it even bigger and better for our 10th
You got
birthday.
it.
Until then, take care.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.